Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Green. We're doing another Read the Bible in 1 year, day 93, 2 Samuel 11 through 19. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell. That way you get updated whenever I post a new video. Like the video and also comment. Make sure you comment anything. You can say thank you, thumbs up, high five, smiley face, whatever you want. Helps with the algorithm. And remember, I'm dyslexic and I stutter, so when I say a big word, sometimes I get confused. Just bear with me, and here we go. 2 Samuel chapter 17. Moreover, Ahithophel said to Absalom, "Let me now choose out of 12,000 men, and I will rise and pursue after David this night. And I will come upon him while he is weary and weak-handed, and I will make him afraid, and all the people that are with him shall flee, and I will smite the king only. And I will bring back all the people unto thee. The man whom thou seekest is returned, so all the people shall be in peace." And the saying pleased Absalom well, and all the elders of Israel. Then said Absalom, "Call now Hushai the Archite also, and let hear likewise what he saith." And when Hushai was come out of Absalom, Absalom spoke unto him, saying, "Ahithophel hath spoken after this manner. Shall we do after his saying, or not? Speak thou." And Hushai said to Absalom, "The counsel that Ahithophel has given is not good at the time." For said Hushai, "Thou knowest thy father and his men, that they mighty men, that they become shaft in their minds, as a bear robbed of her whelps of the field. And thy father was a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. Behold, he is hid now in some pit, or some other place, and will come to pass, when some of them be overthrown at the first, that whosoever heareth it will say, There is a slaughter among the people that follows Absalom. And he also that is a vigilant, whose heart is at the heart of a lion, shall utterly melt. For all Israel knoweth that the father is a mighty man, and they which were men are valiant men. Therefore I counsel that all Israel be generally gathered unto thee, from Dan even to Beersheba, and the sand that is by the sea for multitude, that they shall go to battle in thy own person. So shall we come up upon him in some place where he shall be found, and we shall light upon him the dew that falleth on the ground, and all of him that all the men that are with him shall not be left so much as one. Moreover, if you be gotten into the city, thou shalt all Israel bring ropes to that city, and we will draw near to the river, until there not be one small stone found there." And Absalom and all the men of Israel said, "The counsel of Hushai the Archite is better than the counsel of Ahithophel, for the Lord has anointed to defeat the good counsel of Ahithophel, to the intent that the Lord might bring evil upon Absalom." Then said Shuhai to Zadok and Abner the priest, "Thus and thus did Ahithophel counsel Absalom and the elders of Israel, and thus have I counseled. Now therefore send quickly, and tell David, saying, Lodge not this night in the plains of the wilderness, but speedily pass over, lest the king be swallowed up, and all the people that are with him." Now Jonathan and Amaz stayed by Engel, and they might not come to the city. And a wench went and told them, and they went and told King David. Nevertheless a lad saw them, and told Absalom, but they went both of them away quickly, and came to a man's house in Bathram, which had a well in a court, whither they went down. And the woman took and spread a covering over the well's mouth, and spread ground cord thereof, and the thing was not known. And when Absalom's servants came to the women of the house, they said, Where is Amaz and Jonathan? And the woman said unto them, They be gone over the brook of water. And when they had sought and could not find them, they returned to Jerusalem. And it came to pass, after they were departed, that they came upon the well, and went and told King David, and said to David, Arise and pass quickly over the water, for thus has Ahithophel counseled against you. Then David arose, and all the people that were with him, and they passed over Jordan by the morning light. There lacketh not one of them that was gone over Jordan. And when Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he saddled his ass and arose and got him home to his house and to his city, and put his household in order, and hung himself and died, and was buried in the sepulchre of his father. Then David came to Mahanaim, and Absalom passed over Jordan, he and all the men of Israel with him. And Absalom made Amasa captain of the host instead of Joab, which Amasa was a man's son, whose name was Ithra, an Israelite that went from Abigail to the daughter of Nahshon, sister of Zeruiah Joab's mother. So Israel and Absalom pitched in the land of Gilead. And it came to pass when David was come to Mahanaim, that Shenob the son of Nasha, and Rabbi the son of Ammon, and Maker the son of Emiliel, and Lojbar, and Barzillai, and a Gilead of Rolam, brought beds and basins and earthen vessels, and wheat and barley and flour, and parched corn and beans and lentils and parched pulse, and honey and butter and sheep and cheese and kin for David and for the people that were with him to eat. For they said the people is hungry and weary and thirsty in the wilderness. 2 Samuel chapter 18. And David numbered the people that were with him, and set captains of thousands and captains of hundreds over them. And David set forth a third part of the people under the hand of Joab, and a third part under the hand of Abishai the son of Zeruiah, Joab's brother, and a third part under the hand of Ittai the Gittite. And the king said to the people, I will surely go forth with you myself also. But the people answered, Thou shalt not go forth, for if we flee away, they will not care for us, neither if half of us die, will they care for us. But if thou art worth 10,000 of us, therefore now is better that thou securest with us out of the city. And the king said unto them, What seemeth you best I will do. And the king stood by the gate side, and all the people came out by hundreds and by thousands. And the king commanded Joab and Abishai and Ittai, saying, Deal gently for my sake with the young man, even with Absalom. And all the people heard when the king gave the captain's charge concerning Absalom. So the people went out to the field against Israel, and the battle was in the woods of Ephraim, where the people of Israel were slain before the servants of David, and there was a great slaughter that day of 20,000 men. For the battle was there scattered over the face of all the country, and the wood devoured more people that day than a sword devoured. And Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule, and the mule went under a thick brot of great oaks, and the head caught hold of the oak, and was taken up between the heaven and the earth, and the mule that was under him went away. And a certain man saw it, and told Joab, and said, Behold, I saw Absalom hanging in an oak. And Joab said to the man that told him, And behold, thou sawest him, and why dost thou now smite him there to the ground? And I will give thee 10 shekels of silver and a girdle. And the man said to Joab, I thought I should receive 1,000 shekels of silver in mine hand, yet I would not put forth my hand against the king's son. For in the hearings of the king's charge between thee and Absalom and Ittai, saying, Beware that none touches the young man Absalom. Otherwise I should have wrought falsehood against mine own life, for there is no matter hid from the king, and thou thyself would have set themselves against me. Then said Joab, I may not tarry thus with thee. And he took 3 darts in his hand, and thrust them through the heart of Absalom, while he was yet alive in the midst of the oak. And 10 young men that bare Joab's armor compassed him, and smote Absalom, and slew him. And Joab blew the trumpet, and the people returned from pursuing after Israel, for Joab held back the people. And they took Absalom, and cast him to a great pit in the wood, and laid a very great heap of stones upon him, and the Israel fled, every one to his tent. Now Absalom in his lifetime had taken and reared up for himself a pillar, which was in the king's dale, for he said, I have no son to keep my name in remembrance. And he called the pillar after his own name, and that place to this day is called Absalom's place. Then said Amas the son of Zadok, Let me now run and bear the king tidings, how that the Lord has avenged him of his enemies. And Joab said unto him, Thou shalt not bear tidings this day, but thou shalt bear tidings another day. But this day shalt thou bear no tidings, because the king's son is dead. Then said Joab to Cush, Go tell king what thou hast seen. And Cush bowed before himself to Joab and ran. Then said Amas the son of Zadok yet again to Joab, But howsoever, let me, I pray thee, also run after Cush. And Joab said, Therefore, wherefore wilt thou run, my son, seeing that thou hast no tidings ready? But howso, he said, Let me run. And he said unto him, Run. Then Amas ran by the way of the plain, and overran Cush. And David sat between the 2 gates, and the watchman went up from the roof of the gate to the wall, and lifted up his eyes, and looked, and behold, a man running alone. And the watchman cried and told the king, and the king said, If he be alone, there is tidings in his mouth, and if he came apace, he drew near. And the watchman saw another man running, and the watchman called to his porter, and said, Behold, another man runneth alone. And the king said, He also bringeth tidings. And the watchman said, Methinketh the running of the foremost is like the running of Amas the son of Zadok. And the king said, It is a good man, he cometh with good tidings. And Amas called and said to the king, All is well. And he fell down to the earth upon his face before the king, and said, Blessed be the Lord thy God, which hath delivered up the men have lifted their hand against the Lord thy king. And the king said, Is the young man also Absalom safe? And Amaz answered, When Joab sent the king's servant, and me this thy servant saw a great tumult, but I knew not what it was. And the king said unto him, Turn aside and stand there. And he turned aside and stood still. And behold, Cush came, and Cush said, Tidings, my lord the king, for the Lord avenge thee this day, and all them that rose up against thee. And the king said unto Cush, Is the young man Absalom safe? And Cush answered, The enemy of thy lord king, and all that rise against thee to do thee hurt, be that young man is. And the king was much moved, and went for the chamber over the gate, and wept, and as he went, thus saying, my son Absalom, would God had died for thee, O Absalom, my son, my son. Second Samuel chapter 19. And it was told Joab, Behold, the king weepeth and mourneth for Absalom. And the victory that day was turned for the mourning of all the people, for the people heard that this day how the king was grieved for his son. And the people got them by stealth that day to the king, and people being ashamed steal away when they flee in battle. But the king covered his face, and the king cried with a loud voice, My son Absalom, my son, my son. And Joab cried to the house of the king, and said, Thou hast shamed this day the face of all thy servants, which this day has saved thy life, and the lives of thy sons and thy daughters, and the lives of thy wives, and the lives of thy concubines. If thou hast loved thy enemies, and hateth thy friend, thou hast declared this day that thou regardest neither prince nor servants. For this day I perceive that Absalom had lived, we all had died this day, and he has pleased thee well. Now therefore arise, go forth, and speak comfortably unto thy servants. For I swear by the Lord, if thou not go forth, there will not tarry one with thee this night, that thou will be worse to thee than all the evil that befalleth before the young youth until today. Then the king arose and sat in the gate, and they told us all the people, saying, Behold, the king doth sit at the gate. And the people came before the king, for Israel has fled every man to his tent. And all the people were at strife throughout the tribes of Israel, saying, The king saved us out of the hand of our enemies, and he delivered us out of the hands of the Philistines. And now he fled out of the land for Absalom. And Absalom, whom we anointed over us, is dead in battle. Now therefore, why speak ye a word to bring the king back? And the king David sent to Zadok and to Abner the priest, saying, Speaking to the elders of Judah, saying, Why are they the least to bring the lightning back to his house? Seeking the speech of all Israel is come to the king, even to his house. You are my brethren, you are my bones and my flesh, wherefore you are the last to bring back the king. And it is said to Amas, Art thou not of my bone and of my flesh? God do also to me, and more also, if thou be not captain of the host before me, continually in the room of Joab. And he bowed the heart of the men of Israel, or he bowed the heart of all the men of Judah, even in the heart of the man, so that they sent the word to the king, Return thou and all thy servants. So the king returned and came to Jordan, and Judah came to Gilgal to go to meet the king, to conduct the king over Jordan. And Shimei the son of Gera Benjamin, which was of Baram, hasted and came down with the men of Judah to meet King David. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him, and Ziba the servant of the house of Saul, and his 15 sons, and his 20 servants with him, and they went over Jordan before the king. And there went forth a fiery boat to carry over the king's household, and to do what he thought good. And Shemiel the son of Gera fell down before the king, and he was come to Jordan, and said to the king, Let not my lord impute iniquity unto me, neither do thou remember what they have severed perversely this day. And my lord the king went out to Jerusalem, that the king should not take to his heart. For thy servant does that thou sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come first to this day, in all the house of Joseph, to go down and meet my lord the king. But Abishai the son of Zerah answered and said, Shall not Shimei be put to death for this, because he cursed the Lord's anointed? And David said, What have I to do with you, you sons of Zerah, that ye should this day be adversaries unto me? Shall there be any man to be put to death this day in Israel? For do I not know that I am this day the king over Israel? Therefore the king said to Shimei, Thou shalt not die. And the king sware unto him. And Mephibosheth the son of Saul came down to meet the king, and had neither dressed his feet, nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes, from the day the king departed unto the day he came again in peace. And it came to pass, when he was come to Jerusalem to meet the king, that the king said unto him, Wherefore wentest thou not to me, Mephibosheth? And he answered, My lord, O king of Israel, my servant deceived me. For thy servant said, I will saddle me an ass, that I may ride thereon, and go to the king, because thy servant is lame. And he has slandered thy servant unto the Lord the king. But the Lord the king is an angel of God. Do therefore what the good is in thine eyes. For all thy father's house were put but dead men before my lord the king. Yet didst thou set my servant among them? Didst thou eat in thine own table? What right thereof did I cry any more unto the king? And the king said unto him, Why speakest thou any more of the matter? For I have said, Thou and Ziba divided the land. And Mephibosheth said to the king, Yea, let him take all the forasmuch as my lord the king has come again in peace before thine own house. And Barzillai the Gittite came down from Jerusalem and went to Jordan to the king to conduct him over Jordan. Now Barzillai was a good aged man, even 80 years old, and he had provided the king of substance when they had laid in Manhattan, for he was a very great man. And the king said to Barzillai, Come now over with me, and I will feed thee with thy in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said to the king, How long have I to live? What should I go up to the king and to Jerusalem? I am 80 years old, and I can discern between good and evil. Can thy servant taste what I eat or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of singing men and singing women? Wherefore then shall thy servant be yet a burden unto the Lord thy king? Thy servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king, and why should the king recompense me with such a reward? Let thy servant, I pray thee, turn back again, that I may die in mine own city, and be buried in the grave of my father and of my mother. But behold thy servant Kisham, which let him go over the Lord the king, and do with him thou shalt good unto thee. And the king answered, Shimham shall go over with me, and I will do with him which thee shall seem good unto thee, and whatsoever thou shalt require of me, what shall I do to thee? And all the people went over to Jordan, and when the king was come over, the king kissed Barzillai, and blessed him, and returned to his own place. And the king went on to Gilgal, and Shimham went on with him, and all the people of Judah contacted the king, and also the half the people of Israel. And behold, all the men of Israel came to the king, and said to the king, Why have our brethren the men of Judah stolen thee away, and have brought the king and his household, and all of David's men with him over to Jordan? And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, Because the king is near of kin to us, wherefore thou be angry for this matter. We have eaten all the king cost, and has he given us any gift? And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah, and said, We have 10 parts of the king. We have also more right in David than ye. Why then did ye despise us, that our advice shall not be first hand to bring back our king? And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel. Well guys, that's the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell, that way you get updated whenever I post a new video. Like the video and also comment. Any of your comments are going to help with the algorithm. I'm going to put a couple links on the screen. The bottom right is going to be the Read the Bible in 1 Year study. The top left is going to be a playlist I think you're going to like. And the bottom left is going to be a video YouTube thing you're going to like. If you know somebody that might benefit from this study, please share it with them. You can also share it on social media. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.